Hi everybody, I'm back for video 77 of 365. My name is Samantha and I'm a therapist, and I am doing this channel to help me get over my social anxiety and fear of public speaking and all of that fun stuff. So I am outside again, day 3 of outside in 100-degree weather, and it's too bright today for me to not have sunglasses on. So they're on today. So I'm one of those cool people on YouTube that wears the sunglasses talking about manifesting. I'm in the group now. So here I am today, video 77. Here you are listening to me. I want to be a reminder to you that everything you need is inside yourself. So you do not need to look externally for anything, ever. In fact, when you do that, you give your power away to your reality. So I wanted to dig into a couple areas today. Definitely specific person. That seems to be a big topic for most people. I think it's probably, in my opinion, it's probably one of the biggest topics and most important as well, because everybody around you is a specific person, and relationships are the most important thing that exists, especially the relationship with yourself. So you're your own specific person. I just thought about that. You are your own SP. So you got to treat yourself really well. So I wanted to remind you to do that today. Where are you not supporting yourself with your thoughts and what you say to yourself? It's not necessarily that we have negative thoughts or positive thoughts, but are they supporting you or not supporting you, not serving you or serving you? Do they make you feel good or do they not make you feel good? That's how you can kind of gauge where your thoughts are about yourself. So, and remember that what you are saying to yourself and assuming about yourself, that will be reflected back to you from other people. So, what are you assuming is, what are you assuming about the other person? What are they going to do? You already have something in your head that says, well, they've always been this way, or I've always experienced a man or a woman this way, or I saw this growing up and then I experienced the same thing over and over and over, and there's a pattern there. Check in with yourself and think about what are your assumptions, because what you assume will show you in your reality what you're assuming. So if you don't know, look at your life, because it has a lot of clues there for you. It's kind of fun to do this. It really is. Manifesting is supposed to be fun. And remember, we're not manifesting. We're actually just making the invisible visible. It's already done. When you have a thought or a desire, it's already created. It's already in the quantum field. It's already there in another dimension. And all you got to do is uncover it. And you do that by uncovering yourself. You kind of dig yourself out. You're uncovering the self that has been covered up by self-doubt, low self-worth, all the programming from the past, just all of the stuff that came and oppressed you from when you were young. So that's what we're dealing with, is we're uncovering the self that existed when we were born, basically. So we also suppress emotions a lot. So I want you to kind of think about, where are you kind of hiding your thoughts and opinions from people? Oh, I don't want to say this because this might happen. And in that, when we're people pleasing or we're trying to control what the other person will feel, we're actually being manipulative. And we're not letting that other person have the chance to feel a certain way. So we are actually being kind of controlling and manipulative when we actually do that. So, which we might then attract, we will then attract a manipulative, controlling person, or different behaviors that kind of mimic that. So be real careful about that. Think about where you might be suppressing your own emotions and hiding from yourself, because you're really just battling yourself. You're just seeing yourself mirrored back from others all the time. It's just you against you, and you for you as well, for or against you each moment. And just remember that, everything is always within you. You don't need anything externally from you, nothing. And when I finally solidified that in my stubborn mind, it made my day. It was just like, whoa, this, golly. And it's like the more you practice it, it just becomes bigger and bigger. And you're like, man, why did I not do this sooner? Why did I not, know about this and really take this in? And so that's why I'm so adamant about teaching it, because in doing therapy too, it's like in therapy, you kind of regurgitate problems. And a lot of people I've heard that I've seen in the past, they'll say, well, I don't have anything bad to talk about today. And I'm like, that is great. We don't need to talk about problems all the time. Therapy is not just for problems. Therapy is kind of like just having another person there to kind of be supportive of you. That's really all that it is, a supportive person that's unbiased as much as possible. And they just kind of help you along your journey. So it's kind of like getting a personal trainer. It's like a personal trainer for your mind. So you don't need to have a problem all the time. It's just kind of accountability. And so I love to just kind of coach people as well. So, and I do offer coaching, actually, manifestation coaching, if you guys ever want it. Just, there's a link down somewhere below. I think in the description is where I put it. I'll get better at this. But if you ever want some extra one-on-one help, I'm there for you. I love this stuff. This stuff is like my everything. I love it. I could talk about this all day long for years on end. So, and I do have my little notes here because there were a few things I wanted to make sure. I had written down, free yourself from the belief that there are causes outside of your own mind that can affect your life. Free yourself from that belief that there are causes outside of your own mind that can affect your life. If you just remember that your mind is the cause of everything. If that is true, like what if that were true? What if you believed that? You may not believe it right now. That's okay. But what if that is true? And if that were true, how would you act? What would you think? What would you feel? Just settle into that a little bit. What if that is true? That your mind is creating your reality? What if? How cool would that be if that were actually true? I believe it's true because I've practiced it and seen with my own experiments that I've run on myself, I've seen what gets reflected back, and it is just crazy. So I recommend running your own experiments. Start thinking about something and visualizing what it would feel like to be the person that you're wanting to be. Whether it's a millionaire, it's a parent, a wife or a husband, or you're on a yacht somewhere and you're enjoying your day, whatever it is that you want to conjure up, start thinking about that. And your brain and body don't know what's real. Remember that your brain does not know that the information you're putting into it is real or not. So that can be good or bad, because if you're putting bad stuff into it, negative stuff into it, it's going to be like, okay, you're right. And remember, you're always right. So whatever you're thinking and believing, the answer is you're right every time. Because whatever you think and believe that is your truth, because you're assuming that that's true. So if it's an assumption, then you're right. So if you believe something negative about somebody, you're right. It will be reflected back to you. Play with this with your specific person or other people. Play with it with anybody in your life. Just do some experiments. Start thinking about a person and see them in a loving way. First, I would always start with yourself first, actually, because again, we go back to self-concept. That is, like, I believe, the foundation to get anything you want. You have to have that good self-concept. So you just start programming in what people call delusional. I just call it, you're just like pretending, you're mentally rehearsing what it would be like to think something kind of outlandish. I think it's so fun to do that, because as kids, we pretended we were unicorns, and we pretended we were superheroes, and we pretended, or we had a pet unicorn, or we had an invisible friend, or we had some of those, I guess, for some kids, they actually were real to them, really. Like, they might have been spirits that they could see, or we just don't know. Kids are so in tune. But, we pretended to, like, our Barbies were real people, and, just all kinds of stuff like that. And so we can do that as an adult. We learn, or we lose that childlike wonder. And so we've got to bring that back to being an adult and have fun with it and make it funny. Make it just funny. Like, tell yourself, like, yeah, I just got off my yacht and Justin Bieber was there and whoever you like, just put celebrities there. And we had that most awesome time. I've always wanted to be Justin Bieber's therapist. I think that would be awesome. But don't judge me. But I don't know. I just like think all these outlandish, unlimited thoughts that you may just have never thought of before. I just expand your mind out 100 times more than you ever could have thought you could. And then your brain and body don't know the difference. So you're going to start producing chemicals that will signal in your body, different genes and all these kind of chemicals will run through your body, and it will start to create this new state of being. And from that state of being, you're going to be able to start manifesting or making the invisible visible from your state of being that was only created from thought alone. Isn't that so cool? And I first learned about the from thought alone thing from Dr. Joe Dispenza. So if you don't know who he is, YouTube him or Google, of course. Amazing, amazing, amazing. And so, yes, so also with visualizing, when you visualize something, the point of visualization really is to just get you into a state of excitement. That's really what it's for. And so it gets you in the state. And again, brain and body don't know what's true or false. It doesn't know what's real or not. So it thinks it's real when you just imagine it with your thoughts. And then you get into the state of that. And then as you practice that over and over and over again, your reality can't help but shift into that, because your internal state has changed. Therefore, the external has to change. And you can't have an external change without the internal change first. So really remember that when you're trying to change something outside of you without doing internal work, you're going to probably suffer, you're going to be frustrated, and then you're creating more of that because you're stuck in that state now of frustration, anger, helplessness, hopelessness, that victimhood mentality. Remember that it's scarcity mentality, it's victim mentality. It just doesn't feel good. And that's how you gauge. Does this feel good or does this not feel good? Is this helping me or is this hurting me? Is this supportive? Like, be supportive to yourself. You have to support yourself. And if you support you, your reality is going to support you. It's always supporting you anyway. It's actually giving you everything that you're feeding it. So it's giving everything you want, technically. Sometimes we create circumstances in our lives to show us something that we might prefer more. So it might be this, quote, negative experience or circumstance, but it's giving us clarity about what we prefer. So therefore, the thing that showed up, we actually did want that. So remember that too. Everything has a benefit to you in your reality. Everything that shows up is benefiting you. Everything. Or it wouldn't be there. So you have to trust how reality works. It is there to provide everything you need through synchronicity, and it will show you if you just go with the flow, get in your little boat, and let the water take you down the river, let the flow take you. And that requires surrender, trust, and just knowing that reality will work for you if you work yourself first. And it's just practice, repetition, and breaking the addiction to the old thoughts that you've had for so long. Just breaking the addiction. That's all that it is. You're addicted to your old thoughts. You're addicted to feeling guilt. You're addicted to feeling anger. You have to create a new addiction. And sometimes we want to go back to the comfortable and familiar. So you'll get a trigger that comes up, and you get to decide how you respond to that. So you either revert back to the old identity by reacting, or you stay true to your vision and you say, oh no, this is who I am now. I don't need to react to that anymore. I'm just going to respond this way. And that's how you break an addiction loop. It's just a loop that we go through, and it gets reinforced and reinforced. And so now we've got to go the other way and say, no, I'm going to life number 2 over here, identity number 2, 2.0 you, and you shift your mental state. I just find the best way to shift your mental state is to just start talking to yourself very kindly, do awesome affirmations, come up with some. I was just reading a few. I cannot remember. Oh, I've got them right here. Duh. I've got a ton right here. Yeah, like, let's see. Let me find a few. I am already wildly successful. People are waiting to pay me for my knowledge. If you're starting a business, like, think about these things. I am the authority in my field. No one else does it like I do it. My work is changing lives and people need it. Money flows to me effortlessly because I create massive value. Things like that. Money is within you. Wealth is you. That specific person is you. That's why they make you so mad. Because it's you reflecting you. And it's like, no, you're supposed to change. And it's like, no, you're supposed to change. And believe me, I've practiced this. That is why I'm preaching it and teaching it, because I've done this. And there's nothing better than someone showing you who you're being so you can create a stable foundation inside of yourself. I promise you, there is nothing better than the feeling of that. I swear to you, you just have to practice and repeat and repeat. You're going to have triggers along the way. And all you have to do is say, here's a trigger. Why did this trigger me? What about that triggered me? What belief is that attached to? Every single event in life is neutral. You give it the meaning of good or not good. You get to decide what it means. It doesn't have to, it's one or the other. It's a meaning that you give to it, and that's your belief, and that's your assumption. So if you just give something a different meaning, it changes your belief and changes your assumption, which will change your reality. So you just practice. Go back. That's what you have to do. You have to direct your brain to go back. Nope, we're going to the new self. Nope, we're going to the new self. Nope, we're going to the new self. Remember that and give yourself a reward and a treat whenever you've done a really good job. Reinforce it to yourself over and over. I mean, 100 times in a day, 500 times in a day maybe, because we're so addicted to the negative. We're so addicted to it. We're so addicted to the old reality that is right here. And remember, manifestation is making the invisible visible. So it's right there for you. It's right here. We just have to make it visible by creating the new mental state and shifting over there. And you can literally shift any moment. Remember that. That's a key piece. Any moment. It takes a second to shift into a new state, literally. So just practice it. And then your brain and body get used to it, and they won't want to go back to the old way. I promise you. They'll every now and again, you'll start to get comfortable, and you'll revert back at times. But you just keep going back, go back. Just redirect, and you'll get there. So I will stop for today. And thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you guys so much. I'm sweating, so I better get inside. But I'll be back tomorrow, and I look forward to it. And thank you guys so much for supporting me and watching me and all your comments, your likes. Feel free to share this with somebody who might need it, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.